Tonight, a suspicious blaze ravages a Port Augusta home, sending smoke billowing into the street right next to the hospital, and ensuring Spencer Gulf jetties are up to scratch, the eye-watering costs to keep them on their stilts.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. A fire that ripped through a Port Augusta house on Monday night has been classified as suspicious. To make matters more difficult, a new threat to the public was discovered by firefighters battling the blaze. Reporter Daniel Pizarro filed this report from the scene.
Maddie, behind me is the remains of a mystery that began last night right next to the Port Augusta hospital and has turned into a full-blown police investigation. Smoke billowed from a property on Hospital Road, with the blaze breaking out just before 7 p.m. Fire crews from Port Augusta, Stirling North and Quorn rushing to the scene, where curious onlookers and hospital staff watched on in disbelief. The fire continued burning through the roof and flared up at the back of the house. Police believe the dwelling wasn't occupied at the time of the blaze and no injuries have been reported. But as fireys ventured into the house, a new discovery brought fresh concern from the Country Fire Service: asbestos. The deadly mineral was found to be in the property, forcing police to push away the curious crowds that were gathering around the scene. The area, including the main Hospital Road entrance, was taped off. Now police believe the fire was deliberately lit and have launched an investigation, asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. Fire Corps investigators have spent the day at the site commencing their investigation, all while dealing with the other serious matter of safely removing that asbestos. Maddie, back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. A man has been arrested in Port Pirie after he was allegedly seen entering a property on Monday night. Police will allege that 11:15 last night, witnesses saw the 20-year-old enter a building on Esmond Road and breaking into vehicles parked at the premises. Following calls from the public, an officer came across the man on Thorn Street in Port Pirie West, who police say was allegedly armed with a pole and in possession of stolen property. The man, who has no fixed address, was arrested and has been charged with allegedly unlawfully being on the premises, illegal interference, resisting arrest and for carrying an offensive weapon. He was due in Port Pirie Magistrates Court today. Meantime, a man has been arrested in Whyalla after he allegedly broke into a worksite over the weekend. Just before 3 a.m. on Saturday, October 15, police were called to the Lincoln Highway after reports of a trespasser on the premises. Patrols attended the site and spoke with security staff who said they located a man trying to steal property. A 27-year-old man from Whyalla Stewart was arrested and charged with alleged serious criminal trespass and theft. He was granted bail to appear in the Whyalla Magistrates Court on November 22. South Australia's iconic jetties are deteriorating, and unless action is taken soon, they may be beyond repair. However, it's easier said than done, as jetties are owned by the state government, but approximately half are managed by councils under long-term leases.
Port Hughes is a picture-perfect coastal town, less than 2 hours by car from Adelaide. One of its draw cards is the town jetty, a popular fishing and tourist destination all year round.
The Port Hughes Jetty dates back to 1914 and it's become a community landmark. It's a great tourism attraction. The whole community is proud of it.
Back in 2020, the jetty was damaged in a storm and was closed for a short period of time. Since then, the structural integrity of the jetty has undergone a thorough investigation.
They did indicate to us that there was a small percentage, approximately 16% of some timber piles that were in poor condition. We had a quote on that work and that was estimated to be approximately $750,000 to repair the poor and failing piles.
The Copper Coast Council leases the jetty from the state government, an agreement that's been in place since the year 2000 and is in place until 2099.
Council have written to the Department for Infrastructure and Transport, and sending a letter to the State Minister, and we're looking to work with the state government for a cost sharing.
Council hope it can come to a practical and achievable agreement to ensure the continuity and safety of the jetty well into the future. Until then, monthly inspections will continue to take place, so the public can rest assured the jetty is fit for summer. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Outstanding Business Awards have been held in Port Augusta, celebrating the best companies, organisations and individuals the town's business sector has to offer. The night was deemed a success, with money raised for charity and an overall feeling of coming out the other end of the pandemic.
A night of glitz, glamour and fun as the 2022 Outstanding Business Awards kicked off in Port Augusta West. A sense of recovery from the pandemic was in the air as the award night got underway. The city's apprentices and trainees were specifically honoured as role models for the younger generation.
Take pride in that kind of stuff. I want, the local Indigenous people around the whole area of Port Augusta and surroundings to, if they want to be a mechanic, go be a mechanic. There's people like me that will hopefully look after the kids. So, I'm just something I'm really proud of.
Worked very hard for it, and it's all I've ever wanted to do was mechanics. I've always been one of those tinkering with something kind of fellas, so I'm very, very happy, and it means a lot to me.
The People's Choice Award went to Dance Explosions.
I'm really excited and obviously really honoured to know that I have the backing of the community.
CBR Cycle Garage took not only the Excellence in Small Business Award, but also took the biggest award of the night, Most Outstanding Business.
To be honest, I'm slightly embarrassed. To be honest, didn't expect to win any award. There's so many great businesses here in Port Augusta, especially the ones that were nominated. It was a surprise to be awarded these for this evening, but they're very, very good.
During the charity auction, Mayor Brett Bembo successfully bid $1,200 for a signed Port Guernsey by Port Augusta's own Connor Rossi, as thousands were raised for a good cause. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, the fresh push to get more women in agricultural and farming jobs in the Spencer Gulf. And $100,000 richer, a Whyalla woman's unlikely windfall after purchasing a $5 scratchy. Welcome back. The New South Wales Government is creating more than 80 new full-time jobs to help with the delivery of the new regional roads and transport pipeline. The $19.4 billion project looking to quickly repair infrastructure destroyed in the significant La Nina weather event earlier this year. The jobs consist of 55 newly created full-time roles, as well as 28 temporary contract positions being converted to full-time jobs. Minister for Regional Transport and Roads, Sam Faraway, says the government is looking for locals in places like Broken Hill and the Far West to help fill some of the new positions. With women making up around 30% of the farming and agricultural industry across the country, the Department of Primary Industries and Regions in South Australia has created the Rural Women's Award to try and boost those numbers.
Saturday was International Day of Rural Women.
Great opportunity for us to be able to recognise the big contributions that rural women play. Lots of women are farmers, lots of women are supporting farmers, and lots of women are very active in our regional communities.
The Rural Women's Award celebrates women outside of the big cities and the opportunity to win $15,000 to support their project of choice. The award also offering access to professional development opportunities and their Lumini network.
So I really encourage people in our rural and regional communities to think about women they might know who have made an outstanding contribution and to nominate for that award.
The 2022 winner, Robin Verl, from Keith in South Australia's southeast, was recognised for her work to reduce food insecurity and increase food affordability in rural, regional and First Nation communities.
So that's an example of the sort of project that can be assisted through the Rural Women's Award. So I guess the sky's the limit. There's been some amazing winners in the past.
Applications for the 2023 award have been extended until Wednesday, November 16. So be sure to vote now. Apply or encourage someone you know to apply by visiting the AgriFutures website. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The stars have aligned for a lucky Whyalla woman who has taken home $100,000 in prize money from an instant scratch it. The $5 mystery crosswords ticket was purchased at George Avenue Deli in Whyalla Norrie. When asked how she planned to enjoy her instant windfall, the Whyalla local said it would boost her Christmas plans and help upgrade her car. Lorna Jane Anderson, owner of the deli, says she's ecstatic to sell her first top prize-winning scratchy ticket since owning the store for more than 6 years. Stay with us after the break. 2 days of intense boxing for Port Lincoln locals at the state champs. And organisers pull the pin on Rock the Rangers just days before it was due to kick off. Welcome back. 22 new police officers have just graduated from the South Australian Police Academy. The graduates will be posted to a range of locations, including 6 members who'll be going to country areas like Port Pirie, Port Augusta and Whyalla. SAPOL is currently recruiting for even more police officers and is calling for anyone who sees themselves as a community leader, a problem solver and a fitness fan to join their ranks by applying through the SAPOL website. 4 of Port Lincoln's best boxers went over to compete in the state championships in Adelaide over the weekend, bringing home some silverware in the process. The Williams Boxing Gym has been moulding young up-and-comers since its formation more than 50 years ago.
To be the best, you must beat the best. And for the fighters of Williams Boxing Gym here in Port Lincoln, they did exactly that. A squad of 4 boxers went over to compete in the state championships, all achieving success once they crossed the ropes.
So Boxing South Australia held the state titles, the SA state titles over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We originally nominated 7, we only got 4 matchups.
Fighters Scotty and James taking on the challenge of moving up a weight class and coming out victorious, claiming state titles in their divisions. Some even competing twice in 2 days.
It was definitely a test. It's the first time I've had to fight back-to-back over 2 days. The first one was a tough one. That was the full distance with a very heavy opponent. But yeah, the second one was cream on the cake.
The gym's success stems from the teaching of former professional boxer and founder of the club, Peter Williams. A busy night for the head coach, coming up with different strategies for each of his pupils.
I try and relax before the fight, and down in the rooms you really feel for the fighter themselves because you've been there and you know exactly what they're going to go through. And the simple fact is that you try and instill what's in front of them.
But like most good things, it didn't happen overnight. The lead-up included early morning training sessions, sacrifices and discipline. The true life of a fighter.
5:30 a.m. fight camps, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as 5 o'clock night trainings and sparring Friday nights and Sundays. So many sacrifices, like I said, the list could go on, where it be food or it be social.
Peter has since handed over the reins of the gym to Scotty, where he looks to continue the Williams legacy, helping the next generation.
I've handed over the gym to Scotty, and he's done extremely well.
Like I said from the start, if there wasn't Peter Williams, we wouldn't have a Williams Boxing Gym. I hold his values true.
However, the sport of boxing does much more than teach people how to throw a good left-right, with many fighting their own battles outside the ring.
Say to anyone, please come to a boxing gym and face reality in life, and we'll help you out as well in that on that path.
As far as young ones, massive discipline in this sport. Teaches so much about yourself.
The team will enjoy some downtime before getting back into training. As for Scotty, he's setting his eyes on the Australian Masters next year. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
If you're a fan of great music festivals in the picturesque Pitchy Ritchie Park, you'll have to wait a little bit longer for the next one. The Rock the Ranges Festival, due to kick off this Friday, has been postponed due to bad weather forecast. The 2-day event with Birds of Tokyo and the Black Sorrows as some of the main headliners will likely be pushed into next year. Organisers say tickets currently held by prospective festival goers will remain valid for the new dates, but refunds will be on offer if ticket holders aren't able to make the new date. Stay with us after the break. We recap the local cricket league's games from the weekend. And stormy conditions ahead. We'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. After a long break, cricket is officially back, with many leagues hosting their round 1 matches over the weekend. Cricketers across the region showed no signs of rusty form, with some huge tallies being made on the scoreboard. Our reporter Henry Millick brings you all the results from across the region.
Cricket season is back and steaming its way down the pitch. This week saw some competitive matches with teams putting big runs on the board. Starting things off in Port Lincoln, and it was last year's premiers Tasmans who were too strong for Waybacks, defeating them in a close one by just 2 runs. Tasmans won the toss and elected to bat, with the defending champs wasting no time making runs. Usual suspect Andrew Frick made a huge 46 runs off 57 balls, hitting 7 fours in the process. Tasmans went on to make 157 runs. Waybacks had a big total to chase and started off well. However, the first wicket fell in the 7th over by the hands of Josh Partington's bowling attack, who went on to take 5 for the day. In the other game at Paul Oval, it was Charlton who defeated Todd River in a blowout. Charlton won the toss and elected to bat first. The grunt work was done off Charlton's opening batsmen, with both Connor Madden and Dylan Coleman making a century each. Todd River had a huge tally to chase down, but Charlton's bowling attack was too good, bowling them all out for 110. Charlton won by 172 runs. Over to Port Pirie now, where the Port Germain Sharks took care of the Rams by 6 wickets. An entertaining match played on Oval 1, but it was Zach Hutchinson's effort with the bat that got the Sharks over the line, scoring 32 runs not out. In the other match, the Prop Panthers beat SPCC by 67 runs. The Panthers relying on their back order to make runs, and that they did. Unlike SPCC, where they collected 3 ducks from the tail end of the order. Panthers were 9 for 214. The Port Augusta League will look to start off its season this weekend. That's all for cricket this week. With matches only just getting started, we'll be back to bring you all of the up-and-coming action from the crease.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, a little bit of rain today, but there's more on the way.
Indeed, Maddie, the Bureau of Meteorology has forecast heavy rain in Broken Hill tomorrow and the chance of a severe thunderstorm. I'll have a bit more of what to expect there in just a moment. But let's first take a look at some of today's temperatures. Scattered showers around 23 degrees in Port Augusta, 19 the top in Port Lincoln. Kadina was 21 degrees this afternoon. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, just 18 degrees in Broken Hill today, around 1.5 millimetres of rain was collected in the gauges. 23 in Cooper Pedy, Port Pirie and Adelaide, 22 degrees in Whyalla. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a slow-moving low-pressure system is deepening over Western and South Australia, drawing in a humid tropical air mass to the east and south. The low will move slowly eastwards tonight and into tomorrow to be centred over Western New South Wales late Thursday. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, And we'll start with the Gulf waters. East to southeasterly winds 10 to 20 knots. Seas around 1 metre, increasing to 1.5 metres. South to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. Sunny in Port Lincoln tomorrow, 21 degrees. Partly cloudy in Cleve, also heading for a top of 21 tomorrow. Mostly sunny and 25 degrees in Woodner, down to 13 tonight. Further north, this is where the rain comes in. Showers and 21 degrees in Whyalla. Heavy falls around Port Augusta on Wednesday, 21 degrees there. Possible shower in Kadina, 24 the maximum, down to 11 overnight. Showers around Port Pirie tomorrow, set to reach a high of 23 degrees there. A shower or two and 19 in Clare. Broken Hill will see up to 35 millimetres of rain. Possible severe storms, 20 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, starting with Thursday's outlook. Possible showers and 24 degrees in Port Augusta and Port Pirie. Partly cloudy, 27 in Woodner. More wet weather around the far west of New South Wales on Thursday. Possible storm and heavy rain, around 8 millimetres will fall. 20 to 22 degrees. Port Lincoln 21. Moving on to Friday's forecast now. A bit of a change of pace. Sunny top of 30 degrees in Cooper Pedy. In Broken Hill there's an 80% chance of rain at this stage, and a possible morning thunderstorm. 24 degrees, 23 in Whyalla and Kadina, 22 in Port Lincoln and Adelaide. And finally, taking a quick look at Saturday's outlook, and as you can see, the rain is back. Possible showers across the board and quite warm too. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. I'll see you soon with an update. It's back to you, Maddie.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Tuesday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks so much for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.